let's be real. The idea of a straight, predictable career path is, well, it's pretty much a thing of the past. Today's professional landscape feels more like a winding road, full of unexpected twists and turns. So the big question is, how do you navigate all that uncertainty and not just survive, but actually thrive? That's what we're digging into today: career resilience. To help us wrap our heads around this, we're going to use this really powerful metaphor from Dr. Keith Amoss. Picture your career as a river. Sometimes it's calm, but other times, man, it's a raging torrent. Your resilience, that's the bridge that gets you from one side to the other. And the key, as you can see right here, is to just stay on that bridge and keep moving forward. So what is career resilience really? I mean, at its core, it's all about your ability to adapt, to push through challenges, and to bounce back when things inevitably go sideways. It's not about being some kind of invincible superhero. It's about being agile. And the best part is that this is a skill. It's something you can absolutely learn and get stronger at. Now, let's get one thing straight right away. This is not about slapping on a fake smile and pretending everything is perfect. True resilience is actually the opposite. It's about acknowledging that things are tough, looking the problem right in the eye, and then figuring out a constructive way to work through it. It's all about active problem solving, not just wishful thinking. Now, you might be thinking, who is this for? And while this is a critical skill for just about everyone these days, it is especially powerful if you find yourself at a major career crossroads. If you're navigating a layoff, maybe you're coming back to work after a break, or you're trying to figure out a whole new job market in a new country, this is the toolkit you're going to want. So where do we even begin to build this resilience bridge? Well, it all starts from within. The first, and honestly the most crucial step, is a deep, honest self-assessment. This is the bedrock, the foundation for everything else we're about to cover. And that self-assessment really kicks off with this massive question. Before you can even think about hitting a target, you have to know what you're aiming for, right? It's kind of like pulling back the string on a bow to gather your thoughts and take aim before you let that arrow fly. You've got to look inward first. So take a look at some of these prompts. Think back on your past jobs. What did you genuinely love doing? And what did you absolutely hate? What are the skills you have that can be used anywhere? What kind of boss helps you do your best work? The advice here is simple but powerful. Write it all down. Make it real. Okay, once you've spent some time looking inward, it's time to start looking outward. Resilience isn't something you build in a vacuum. A strong support system for both your career and just your overall well-being is absolutely essential. Here's a fantastic and honestly kind of counterintuitive piece of advice for you. When you're networking, the goal isn't to go in and sell yourself. It's to learn about other people. When you approach conversations with genuine curiosity about what they do and what their world is like, you end up building much, much stronger connections. And this slide gives us a really structured way to think about it. Imagine your network like ripples in a pond. You start with that inner circle, your closest friends, your family. Then you move out to the next ring, former colleagues, acquaintances, and finally, you expand to those outer rings, brand new contacts. The key is to be active in all of these circles. And this is so important. A support system isn't just about professional contacts. Your emotional health is basically the fuel for this entire journey. Our source really emphasizes making time for hobbies, for rest, for self-care. This isn't some luxury, it's a flat-out necessity. All right, so we've done the internal work, we've started building our support system, now let's get into the practical tools, the actual skills you'll need to stay steady as you walk across that career river bridge. Adaptability and flexibility, they're two skills that are absolutely essential here. They sound kind of similar, but there's a really important difference. Adaptability is about adjusting to a whole new environment, like a new company culture. Flexibility is more about your willingness to change your tasks or your role within that environment, and you really, really need both. When you face a major career change, especially one you didn't ask for, it kicks off a whole emotional journey. Understanding these stages, which you might know as the change curve, it just helps normalize what you're feeling. Moving from denial all the way to acceptance is a process, and it's totally okay to feel all of it along the way. Here's a huge mindset shift for you. Setbacks aren't a possibility, they're a certainty. You will face rejection. You will fail at something. But if you can frame this as just a predictable part of the process, it takes away a lot of its sting, and it turns it into a chance to learn something. And I mean, this quote from Mike Tyson just says it all, doesn't it? You can have the most perfect, detailed plan in the world, but resilience is what you do after you get that metaphorical punch, that unexpected layoff, that rejection letter. It's all about your ability to roll with the punches and get back on your feet.
All right, we've covered the mindset, the support system, and the skills. So for our final section, let's bring this all together. Let's talk about how to create a concrete, personal plan that turns all this reflection into real-world action.
A lot of us have probably heard of SMART goals, right? But in today's constantly changing world, we might need a more flexible approach. So let's take a look at something called the CLEAR framework. Okay, let's break this down. Your goals should be collaborative. Don't try to do it all in isolation. They should be limited in scope so you stay focused. They need to be emotional so they actually connect to what you care about. Make them appreciable, which means breaking big goals into small, meaningful steps. And finally, they have to be refinable because your goals need to be able to change and evolve right along with you.
In the end, it comes down to this. Action is what gets you started, but resilience is the fuel that keeps you going. Every single resume you send, every new connection you make, every skill you practice, it's all progress. They're a dynamic duo, and they make sure you keep moving forward, no matter what. And that brings us to the end. The big takeaway here is that the bridge across your career river isn't something you just find. It's something you build, one piece at a time. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What's your first step going to be?